Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Lamplight City. And last time we finished up case number 2, we got that Linda Walker lady locked up for kidnapping that kid because she thinks her dead kid got reincarnated. I don't know, man. People are crazy. All right. Case number 2 is over. We just went drinking. Man, I don't want to mess with the shadowy figure.
Excuse me, sir. Could you spare a shilling?
Here you are, my good man.
You always were willing to help the less fortunate, weren't you? But perhaps you should start thinking about helping yourself.
I beg your pardon?
Just look at yourself. I may be a beggar, but even I feel sorry for you.
You. I know you.
Yes, that's right. I'm your biggest failure.
What are you talking about?
Come now, Miles, you're not completely stupid.
He knows who we are.
You think finding and catching me is going to make things better?
It has to. It just does. I can't go on like this.
That's true. You can't. However, let's say you do find me, and this grand chase finally ends. What do you do the next morning?
Rub one
You
out
still
and
have
have
a
a
dead
snack.
partner, no real job. Your wife knows you've been keeping things from her. Even if you
How the fuck does this guy know so much about
100
us?
cases, it won't relieve that empty feeling inside.
What's your point?
I'm all you've got, Miles. Once I'm gone, there'll be nothing left. So just admit it. You don't want to find me. Not really. Bad dreams?
You could say that.
Oh, I thought that was going down for real.
Ah, my head. How many drinks did I have last night?
You're asking the wrong person. I was out after the first one.
It seems Miss Maxwell was right about the effects of spirits. Go figure.
Yeah, well, let's not make a habit out of it, all right? Pretty, but I'm... Oh, wouldn't you say it's time for a change?
So? Addie,
Right.
what are you talking about?
Never mind.
We already know all this stuff.
It's empty.
Good riddance, I say.
So, you're up at last.
I got nothing else to do.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
We were trashed.
I'm guessing whatever happened last night didn't put me in your good books?
That's putting it mildly.
What happened exactly?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Oh.
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
Jen.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
Well, he already admitted
What
it was
possessed you
after
to go
one.
out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or two would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
Yes, sir.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
Let's read the paper first. Harris baby found, suspect in custody. Charles Harrod, infant son of Malcolm and Miriam Harris, was kidnapped days ago from his crib. Police officers determined that Linda Walker, a friend of the baby's nanny, was the kidnapper. Walker was arrested in Pierre-Lorraine after fleeing New Bretagne with the child. Charles is second in line to inherit the Harris Construction Company. Gascon Grandin found burned to death. Desiree Lathan, 63, was found burned to death in her home yesterday morning. Police were called to the scene by a neighbor who smelled smoke only to find a grisly scene Miss Lathan in the bed. Body burnt to ashes. The circumstances of Miss Lathan's death are unknown, but the police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Lathan was born in New Bretagne, the daughter of a wealthy plantation owner. She grew to become one of the most beloved and respected Gascon granddames. Although she had many suitors over the years, Latham never married. An avid reader, writer, poet, Miss Latham had several articles published in newspapers. I bet that's our case. Ooh, another murder in Shamley.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night.
Yeah, we gotta make it up to the
I'll
wife.
do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were.
Damn it, they'll
It's
never be the
really
same
all
they
the
were.
apology I require.
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
I wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
I'll let you get back to your book.
Alright, let's see what the message is. A new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. I won't be able to meet you at Raven, so here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Lathan. Her apartment is at 840 Wright City.
Huh.
What does Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already investigating.
It's gotta be the
Explains
burnt lady.
article in the newspaper.
Which one?
The one about Desiree Lathan, the woman
Yeah.
who was found burnt to death.
Ugh, that sounds absolutely dreadful. Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
Yeah.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
No promises. What I got updated there?
Have a lovely day, Addie.
Don't work yourself too hard, dear.
No promises.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane.
Oh no,
This
who's
is
this
Miles
guy?
Fordham. He used to be one of us until he killed his partner.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham.
Ooh.
I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
So nice to see that power hasn't gone to his head.
Not at
My
all.
apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
We're about the paper. Then have a look.
Just a social call. I wanted to see what my former colleagues were up to these days.
And you often socialize at murder sites, do you? This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
We could solve this case in no time if we work together, you know.
We don't need any help. Not even from former detectives. Parsons,
what a dick.
I'm going back to the station. I want you to report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene.
Oh, come
Do
on.
I make myself
Snelling.
clear?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Your impudence is going to catch up with you one of these days, Fordham.
Dick.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
I prefer
You
Dick.
heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you
here's
get out of
me.
here, the better for all of us.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open. Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's. Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative? You have to hand it to her. Miss
What's
Lathan
going on
certainly
here?
had
We
a
gotta get rid of these
unique
guys.
taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away. An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's Ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
Alright, let me get rid of this guy.
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
Why you
He'd
give me
be
a dick,
respecting
man?
my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
It will.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
That was
No,
a big one.
because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just
Look
a
at
little
those chops, man.
Do I have to state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
bit? I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble.
Yeah.
It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual. Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham? Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands? Does
Always the shot.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
Oh, I will.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the chief of police never bothers with
Yeah.
the crime scene unless it's of great importance.
She's a grand
Your
dame.
point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
Oh, that didn't get him to leave.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Yeah, you can
I'm
spill it.
afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
Oh, come on,
And there's
buddy.
nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I
Oh,
think the
come on,
operative phrase
man.
in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was
He
meant to
looks
be.
old as
It's
shit.
good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Okay.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
He's a dick.
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir. Especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking.
What's up with
What
the
was
chief?
Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Routine inspection? But the chief of police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
Yeah, spill it,
I
buddy.
couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Thanks for your time, officer.
All right,
Not a
so we gotta get
problem.
rid of the other dude. So it's a roll. Gascon Supper Club, Adelaide. All right. Let's finish up with the crime scene before we go following up on leads.
I didn't imagine we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Time is it?
Fordham.
All right. We
Have
still
you
got a
solved the
few more
case already?
minutes.
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is he back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know. Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
All right. What you know about all this?
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
To be honest, it was a bit wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Yeah, what do you got about Bill?
You?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Ooh.
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug people. It may just be a coincidence, but I also think it's something worth looking out for. If it becomes a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
But 2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
Ooh.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
That's a good point.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
That
You
dick.
and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Latham crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops.
Yeah, he is.
He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Upton, oh good, you impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
About getting Parsons.
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning.
Body of
A woman
man.
named Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage.
The murder?
And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Tell me more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who reported it said that the body was bloated and decomposing. He must have been in the river several days. Dr. Edwards performed a post-mortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the head.
I see. Certainly leaves a lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
No, actually, let's try another one.
See, that one's not
All
going to be
right,
an open
which one?
shut. He probably wants an open shut one.
Give me the details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hopkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
No, actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Let's do that one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that
When
and
are we
the
gonna work
Latham
that
case being
case?
publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
Yeah,
3
probably.
murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Probably.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
You never
It's a
forget.
guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here. If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Understood.
I'll still be here when you've solved it, though.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Alright, let's hope that case got rid of him. Bingo.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Alright, Officer Kane.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Spill it, baby.
I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes. What's left of it, at any rate.
Oh, that's
Miss
nasty.
Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see.
So it might not even be her.
Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir. I have my orders.
Come on.
Officer Kane, I'm trying to aid this investigation. There may have been something overlooked by the others.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, he won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
We're gonna get this guy in
All right.
trouble? Oh,
I suppose you can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
Come on, spill
If
it.
I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
He's a dick. Just say it.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief. And that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
Speaking of the chief.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yeah.
Yes, but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the chief of police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports have been getting the public on edge.
Yeah,
Of
well,
course.
there's someone killing
The less
everybody.
information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Miss Lathan in time.
Ooh.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a
Too
problem.
soon, Bill. Too soon.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
Okay, let's start small here.
Crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
They're from the same person, one Peter Andrews.
There we go.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
I offer you my heart, though I am sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love be too cruel? I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I only hope these feelings are mutual. Love, Peter. Once again, I must declare my love for you, though you have not yet responded to any of my letters. I maintain hope that you care for me as I do for you. Remain ever faithful. Call upon me, and I will wish your side.
Nothing else of interest. It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's
For
an
sure.
article for Brentwell magazine.
We are all familiar with the
Igniting the
idea of
fires
inner
within.
fire.
A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say? Classic Brent.
What if that inner fire
They
was
have a
more
reputation for
physical
making
nature?
their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of entertainment.
Perhaps we should pay their offices a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
Okay.
As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation.
Is that her?
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art.
Okay, we'll get to the body here in a minute.
There's a letter in here.
Dear Miss Lathan, this letter's informing that
This just
we
keeps
have
getting more and
received
more
your
interesting.
requests, more
The law
changes
firm of
to
Usher and
beneficiary
Price isn't too far
than
from
your
here.
last will and
I think
testament.
it's
Please allow
definitely worth
Usher and
paying them a little
Price.
visit.
Alright, we're getting somewhere here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting some places, some clues.
Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too. Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place. Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
Okay.
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know. The flames must have been fairly high to be able to stain the ceiling like that.
Alright, let's look at the body. Oh, wow.
Ashes to ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
How did that happen?
Now's not the
Wouldn't
time for
our
jokes,
whole
Bill.
body catch?
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wow-wow-wow that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
I did too, Bill.
Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left to take.
And a
Either
couple
that or
legs.
Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting. Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering. Miles, do you really want to go carrying around those stinking ashes in your pocket? It'll take ages to get the smell out.
Good point. I'll need to find something to carry them in.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off. There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing Through Life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over.
Do I have an inventory? I don't even have an inventory. What can we put those ashes in? Have we not found something yet? What was in our nightstand?
Nothing else of interest.
I feel confident we combed the room.
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane. Judging by these books, let's just hope we're definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative? Nothing new to ask him about.
Alright, well I think that's all the time we have for tonight, guys. Drop a like if you haven't. Oh, we got a bunch of places to go. The law office, police station, supper club, and the Brentwood magazine. And we gotta find something to put ashes in, too. Probably the supper club might have a dish. I don't know. But anyway, I'm out!